apparel line. So make sure you go support Gruntworks, and then obviously support ours. Big shout out to our sponsors, Muscle Activation through Ventura Training and Athletics.
Support Gruntworks.
Say hi to Greg. If you
ours.
got an MAT place near you, go do it. It's good for your soul. It's good for your mind. It's good for your body. So get that all squared away so that you can get back to your fighting weight, fighting shape, and get off those opioids and just smoke weed if you have to. Other than that, we're pretty excited. All right. If I had a Christopher Walken voice like my buddy that we talk about, pretty excited. So we're winning some money in the last couple of weeks. We've been winning some money all year, but pretty big time on the DraftKings lineups and stuff like that. So make sure you pay attention. We don't have Trigger Joe on here today. Like I said, he's driving through the Cumberland Gap. I think there's a song about that, and he is not getting good reception. So anyways, stay safe on the roads, Joe. You and Kevin doing good work out there. But anyways, I got the Mad Russian with me, Bill Pearson. And so we are going to go through the UFC picks. But Bill, before we get started with the picks, do you want to brag a little bit or talk about some of the fights that went your way and didn't go your way last week?
Yeah. Hey, again, we did pretty damn good last week. Again, I am done betting on these minus 500 guys. Again, we had another minus. I think he went in like a minus 505, gassed himself out in the first round, which is what happened last time we bet on a minus 500. So again, you will never see me on this show again. Bet on a minus 500. I'm done. We're close this week. We got a minus 435, I think it is, which I'm going to go with. But I'm not doing these minus 500.
Might put $10 on the other guy. So
these minus 500s are killing us. But again, I think we lost one last week. I mean, we are still killing it. DraftKings lineups are killing it. Again,
yeah, my DraftKings lineup's been on fire.
Yeah, and you've said it again. If you do parlays, no, you're probably going to lose the parlays if you're doing these 4 or 5 parlays, because that's why Vegas has all the big buildings. But if you stick with our picks, you're generally going to win, especially with these DraftKings lineups.
For sure. So again, all you gambleaholics out there, listen to their picks. We're not going to give you the complete DraftKings lineups because we don't want to split the $1 million with you in the event that we hit it. But bet their locks. Bet what some of the advice they give you. They're pretty solid. And if you just start off with $50-$60 to test out the waters. But if you bet the 16 parlay and the 18 parlay and the 8 fight parlays, you're probably going to lose. All right. But if you stick to some of just the regular bets and stuff like that, you'll be all right. All right. Without further ado, I hope you're all staying warm. We're going to go to the card. And if you're on Gruntworks right now, I got my phone down here watching it. And I know Chris is monitoring too as well. Chris, if you want to jump in any time with a question from the audience, go right ahead. We'll let you get some airtime because Joe's not here. And he'll thank us for that. We pay him in like rice. So whatever Chris does is grateful, and we appreciate all the work behind the scenes. So let's go to the first fight. All right. The first fight is a heavyweight fight. Am I tracking that right, Bill? Making sure the card's right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you got Andrei Arlovsky versus Tom Aspinall. I believe I've said to always bet on Arlovsky because it's a Russian name or a Polish name, and those guys are mean on the Eastern Bloc. So I bet based off of region of the country and name, so like region of the world. I'm going with the Eastern Bloc guy. But who do you got on the expert side of it?
Okay, again, Joe and I agree on this. You should bet on Arlovsky 15 years ago. Arlovsky was great when he wasn't, I think, what is he now, 42, 46 years old, something like that. And he lost his chin probably 10 fights ago. Aspinall's been on a tear. His last 5 fights were knockouts in the first round versus Arlovsky, who just does not have a chin anymore. I mean, if somebody sneezes too hard, and that's Arlovsky, he's going to sleep. So Joe and I both agree. And Aspinall, he's actually one of our locks as well. So Aspinall, chances of them even getting out in the first round is pretty slim. So Aspinall, KO first round.
All right, pay attention, Gruntworks and Trash Talk Nation. If Joe and Bill agree on a fight, on how it's going to end and what round it's going to be in, they're over 90%. So I think they've lost like 2 all year. on when they both agree on it. And I think both of those were those minus 500 guys that like, what happened? But so there you have it. Aspinall is going to knock the guy out in the first round. So
for sure,
put some money on it. Put $5 on it. Okay, so that's the first one, and it's a lock. So it's good to open up with a lock. Okay, we'll go to the second fight. All right, the second fight is a middleweight fight with some pretty common names as well. Again, I'm starting to recognize these guys. You got Phil Hawes and that Nasruddin Imhoff. Did I say that right? Imhoff.
Sure.
Both 9-2. We'll go to the card. The card looks like Nasruddin is the younger guy and the taller guy and all that kind of stuff. But who do you got in that fight and why?
So this was actually an interesting one. Again, Joe and I agree. It's going to most likely be Phil Hawes will pull off a win on this one. Phil Hawes is just one of those dudes who's built like a brick shit house and loves knocking heads off. Phil Hawes, he's going in as only a minus 120 versus Imavov's a plus 110. Phil Hawes has more experience in the UFC. Imavov's coming in from all those little smaller organizations. He's also on a tear, just not in the UFC. Phil Hawes to win, but I'll say this now from me. I don't know if Joe's going to agree with this. If this goes to the ground, Imavov's going to win this fight. Hopefully, what I think is going to happen, Phil Hawes is going to dance around, keep this on the feet. He's going to clip him and win by KO, maybe a decision. But mark my words, Gruntworks and veteran Trash Talk Nation, that if this goes to the ground, Phil Hawes is probably done. But if you're working your DraftKings lineups, I would go with Phil Hawes, most likely with the TKO, maybe around the second round, early third round.
So you got Trigger Joe's not picking Hawes in this one?
No,
you guys are in disagreement?
No, we agree it's going to be Phil Hawes. I'm just putting out there that if this goes the other way, it's because it went to the ground. If Imavov gets him on the ground and keeps him there, it's over.
All right. Hey, leave a comment. I know people are active in the comment thread. Awesome. Thanks for your support and all that kind of stuff. Remember, support veteran-owned companies. All right. That's what we're doing. We're building each other up. Ventura Training and Athletics, who sponsors us, they're a veteran-owned company. All right. 10th Mountain Whiskey. They're not veteran-owned, but they support the hell out of veterans, and they're named after the 10th Mountain Infantry Division, started in Vail, Colorado. And leave us a comment what you're drinking tonight. I got the 10th Mountain Potato Vodka and a little bit of Red Bull in here because the night's just getting started. We also like to thank go ahead.
Shane asked the question, where's Matt Hughes? To answer that question, Matt Hughes was amazing.
Country boy will survive.
Yeah, but that guy also got hit by a train. And it's actually a pretty sad story. If you look him up on YouTube, there's some videos. Matt Hughes was a great champion, got hit by a train sitting in his car, and now he barely walks and talks. So those of you wondering what happened to Matt Hughes, hop on YouTube, watch that little documentary. Matt Hughes got pretty messed up, getting drunk in a car and then smoked by a train. Yeah. I
did not know that. And I was thinking of the Hank Williams song, A Country Boy Will Survive, because that's what he came out to. And
he's barely surviving.
Now I know I'm living rent-free in Tanner Port's head this week because he fell into the trap on multiple Facebook posts of mine. And again, those of you who are whining about Ted Cruz, all right, leaving to Mexico, all right, he's a senator, okay? The power going out because it was really cold is not a senator's responsibility. And the news is like going nuts about like he could be calling people. Phones don't work in Mexico. But anyways, a country boy apparently cannot survive everything. All right. So you can skin a buck and you can run a trout line, but if it gets 5 below zero in Texas, you're fucked. All right. So let's just cover that right now. All right, let's get back on topic here. So let's go. We got Hawes winning. All right, not a lock though, and we got Aspinall before that winning in your lock. So let's go to a heavyweight fight with another guy who seems to fight like, I don't know, every card that's not important, and but he's 59-14. Right, that's a lot of fights in UFC. Like a lot of guys make it to like 10-11, and they get knocked out and they're gone. Beer money. Yeah. So Oleski Olenek versus Chris Daukaus. Now we've bet on Daukaus before. So
different Daukaus.
Different Daukaus? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Different Daukaus.
Man.
The other Daukaus you're thinking of is the other minus 500 that screwed our parlay. So.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, okay. Now I remember that. Fuck Daukaus, man. But anyways,
different Daukaus.
Yeah. So who do we got in that fight?
This fight is actually another one of our locks. Dawkins, probably another first round KO. Olenek's that dude you throw at when you need to fill up a card, and he's willing to fight for beer money and some pretzels. Dawkins is another guy who comes in, throws heavy hands. He's going to do it again in the first round. He's probably going to clip Olenek. It might go to the second round, but again, another one of our locks. Dawkins, first round, maybe second round, TKO.
Oh, there you go. So before we go on to the next fights, and I'm doing this all with no script because that's just how good I am. Are there any undercard fights that we want to address?
Yes.
That we're not paying attention to. So
yes,
if you want to throw some like DraftKings superstars in there, who do we got in the undercard?
Looking at our undercard, again, this is ones that Joe and I talked about. There's a female fight, O'Neal. She's coming in 5-0. She's fighting someone that's 4-4. So they're prepping O'Neal to be the next hotness coming up in that weight class. So if you want to pick a winner off the prelims, pick O'Neal. Then another underdog guy we're pulling for is a Castaneda. I think he's a minus 180 or 220 right now. If you want to pull another underdog, that's what your DraftKings lineups. That's going to be cheap. Castaneda, and then pull for O'Neal.
O'Neal and Castaneda for your DraftKings thing. Hey, DraftKings, if you're watching, we want a sponsor for this show. All right, and we're fun and we make people money. And the more Gruntworks people that watch this and start betting, they're going to start making money and they're going to bet on your page. So again, sponsor us because we're good. Yeah, well, they're good. I'm just the talent that brings everybody together. Anyways, let's go back to the main card and we'll go to the next fight, which is a featherweight fight. And we got Charles Rosa versus Derek Minor. And we're looking at pretty experienced fighters. One's 13-4, one's 25-11, pretty equal, except for Rosa is taller, and that's about it. So who do we got in this fight, Bill?
This is another one of those fights you don't put in a parlay. This could go either way. Joe and I are both going with the underdog, the plus 168 underdog Minor. For me, my reasoning behind it is I'm going off statistics. Rosa's last few fights went lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. So statistically, I'm going with he's going to lose because this dude can't put two wins together. There's no crazy insight on who has the better striking or grappling. I mean, they're both mid-level guys, workhorses that won't ever win a belt. I'm going off statistics. So Minor, probably a decision.
So is that statistics or is that a pattern?
You're right. That's a pattern. I'm going off the pattern of his.
It's scary. So those of you at Gruntworks watching and VTT watching, he's got those red flags behind him. It's artillery, right? So he's a fister. Thank God they have these little, like, what are they called, LHMBCs, that they can figure out the math for you. Because if the Mad Russian is saying statistics, all right, because remember, 64% of all stats are made up on the spot.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Every time. But so we're going with the underdog, which who again? I wasn't even paying attention. I was caught up on your statistics.
Going with Minor is a plus 168.
Okay, Minor plus 168. Awesome. So going on to the women bantamweight in the co-main. Now, those of you watching for the first time, Bill's an expert at picking the women battles. And we got Vieira. Didn't her fight? She was supposed to fight in UFC 258, wasn't she? Or is that a different Vieira?
No, I think it was that one.
Yeah, and they got canceled. Vieira versus that lady, Kutskaya, right? So Kutskaya is obviously tough because she's probably from Russia and didn't get sold into the working industry. So I'd probably go with her, even though Vieira's 11-1. But I'm sure you'll go with Vieira because you know more about this than I do. So who do we got in that fight?
Hey, first let me answer Kyle Jordan Riley. Ask a personal question. I go ahead and let Karma hit him to answer your question. Now into the female fights.
What was the question? I'm not. What's the question? My comments aren't popping up as fast.
His wife cheated on him with the dude. He wants to know if you should beat his ass or let karma hit him. I said, let karma take care of it.
That's interesting. Yeah. Unless it was an accident, like she tripped and fell on his dick. But I mean, like, so.
Even Sunday action. I like it.
Yeah. The Kansas City Shuffle. What's it called? That one from the Bruce Willis movie. It's like you get him looking left and you hit him on the right. So,
but hey, to go back to the fights, go with Caitlin Vieira. Most likely will be a pretty boring fight. Go to decision. If it's not a decision, Vieira win with the submission. Kunitskaya has been prone to get choked out. But most likely this will be a pretty boring fight. It'll most likely go to decision. Again, if it's not a decision, I'll call Vieira by submission 3rd round. That's also another fight Joe and I agree on. So
you got Vieira submission 3rd round, all the same, huh?
But most likely it'll be a boring ass decision. I mean, this is another one of those fights that Ambion's going to take to go to sleep. So, but Vieira will be the winner.
So this would be a good time to fire up the grill. You're saying is when the co-main starts. Okay,
absolutely. That's when you pour your next drink. This fight.
So that's how you measure your steaks. It's 5-minute rounds, and so if I want a medium rare steak, about the 2.5 round, this fight still be going on. I can start eating my steak. All right. So now we go to the main event, heavyweight. Derek Lewis at 24-7 versus Curtis Blades. I already like Blades. I'm talking Blades in the first 5 seconds because anybody named Blades, like Benny Blades, the old Seattle Seahawks safety, like, you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. You get into a ring with a guy named Blades at 14-2. So let's look at the weight. Let's look at the card on this one. 265 versus 260. Both of them probably have the ability to go, 3.5 rounds where it's exciting?
Yeah, I mean, they've both gone to decisions for this fight's tough. All right, here's the thing. Curtis Blades is a minus 435 right now, which I think is a gross mistake on Vegas's part. Lewis has a punch. They both have a puncher's chance. Lewis has been proving he can take a shot, and he beat Francis Ngannou in a decision where Ngannou twice has put Curtis Blades to sleep. Both these guys are tough. Joe and
so you're saying Blades has lost to the same guy twice?
Yes.
Okay.
To Francis Ngannou, who's the champion right now. I'm taking Blades. Joe's taking Blades' decision, which I think is a pretty good assessment. I'll take Blades. I'm gonna go with late 3rd, early 4th round TKO. Lewis has a tendency to gas out and just squeak by with these decisions. You can see in the fight card when they put it up, he's a bigger guy. He made his fame when he took his shorts off in the mid-ring interview because his balls were hot. My balls are hot, Joe, and he ripped off his shorts. Great dude. Also has a puncher's chance, man. These guys are going to come in throwing bombs in the first 2 rounds. I just think Blades is the better all-around fighter. He's the smarter fighter. Joe's got Blades' decision. I think that's a really good pick. I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Blades, TKO, late 3rd, early 4th round. But
nice. So
another fight I wouldn't put in a parlay because Joe Lewis has that puncher's chance. They have him at a plus 385. I think that's unfair. I'd put him at maybe a plus 200 at best because Lewis is going to come in. He's going to throw hate. And if one of those connects, Blades has been shown he can get put to sleep, and Lewis has that power. And he's got a chin.
Nice. So let's wrap this up and let's recap. So hey Chris, if you could put the fight card up for the bettors out there that are just hanging on and missed the first part of the show. Recap the locks and your moneymaker for DraftKings. Who's your cheap moneymaker for DraftKings and then your locks?
All right, our cheap moneymakers are going to be female fight O'Neal and another underdog with a guy named Castaneda. With our locks, go with Aspinall against Arlovsky and Dawkins versus Olenek.
All right, there you have it. DraftKings Nation, and not DraftKings Nation. You got Gruntworks Nation. Hopefully, we become DraftKings Nation. Like, hey, DraftKings, pay attention. Yeah. So yeah, it's obviously it's in the mind. Let's get it going. All right. Big show tomorrow. We have some pretty famous guests in the Army world. We got WTF Nation radio hosts are going to come on the Trash Talk Hour, and that'll be at 1400 Eastern Standard Time. You can watch it on our YouTube channel, or you can watch it right here on Gruntworks live. It's going to be awesome. Great topics to talk about. Buddy, unfortunately, isn't going to be there. Apparently, Tinder has been lighting up since he's become part of the Trash Talk and Gruntworks team, so he won't be there. And so it'll be Bill the Mad Russian be stepping in for him, giving you the honesty cap of how you need to saddle up and get moving and stop crying so much. But either way, check out our store, shop.veterantrashtalk.com. Also support Gruntworks. Again, if you're not supporting veteran-owned companies and you're not trying to blow up every company next to you, to the right of you, left of you, supporting everybody, then we don't got time for you. All right. So, keep hating on everybody else. We don't care. Again, gruntworks.com and then shop.veterantrashtalk.com. So check us out. It was a pleasure hanging out with you guys this evening, but we got to go party on and get some dinner. So again, we'll see you tomorrow at 1400 Eastern time. And don't forget to put your bets in with these guys. You're going to win money. See you guys tomorrow, 1400.